This is Tatiana from Tatiana Math Resources, and we're looking at the CXC Math Paper 2019, question 5. Question 5, the cumulative frequency distribution of the volume of petrol needed to fill the tanks of 150 different vehicles is shown below. A, for the class 21 to 30, determine the lower class boundary. Okay, so lower class boundary 21 to 30. What we do is the lower class boundary, we subtract a 0.5. So we're going to get 20.5. And the upper class boundary, upper, we add a 0.5. So it will be 30.5. But the answer would be 20.5. That is the lower class boundary. Then we're asked the class width. So the previous question, we need that information because the class width is equals to the upper class boundary minus the lower so we have 21 to 30 and it was 20.5 to 30.5, so we get 30.5 minus 20.5, and that is going to give us 10. So the answer is 10. Here we have the B part of the question. How many vehicles were recorded in the class 31 to 40? Now we need our table from the question before, and we notice it's a cumulative frequency. There is no frequency. Usually you would have frequency and then cumulative frequency. So what we will have to do is, this is 31 to 40, the class interval that they're talking about. So for us to record the number of vehicles, now we can't just write 101, we have to subtract. So number of vehicles would be 101 subtract 59, and that answer is 101 subtract 59, that is 42. Here we have part C of the question. It says a vehicle is chosen at random from the 150 vehicles. What is the probability that the volume of petrol needed to fill its tank is more than 50.5 liters? Leave your answer as a fraction. So you will need to use a table. We want to also understand that the 50.5 will come from this class interval because this represents 40.5 to 50.5. So it will be this. But remember, we want more than 50.5 liters. So that will take into consideration not the 40.5 to 50.5, but this class interval instead. So we have 150. So the class interval 51 to 60 would be 150 minus 129, which is equals to 21. And that is what we're going to use, the probability that the volume of petrol is greater than 50.5 liters is equal to that 21 over, remember they said 150 vehicles over 150. Leave your answer as a fraction. We can cancel it down and get about, divide this by 3. We get 7 over, that'll be 7, and 3 into that will be 50. 7 over 50. The last part of the question is to draw a histogram. So we would need to get the frequency information. So to get that, we have the table from before, the volume, the cumulative frequency, but we need to get the frequency. So we know that the first value is going to be 24 for the frequency. Then the second would be take 59 from 24, that's going to give you 35. Then we're going to take 59 from 101, that's going to give us 42. And then we take 101 from 129, that's going to give us 28. And then we take 129 from 150, that's going to give us 21. Now the coordinates for the histogram would be, we'll use the class boundaries, the upper and lower class boundaries, and the frequency that we just calculated. So 11 to 20 would be 10.5. 11 to 20 would be 10.5 to 20.5. What we do is we add on a 0.5 and we subtract a 0.5. So that's going to give us these values that we have here. So 21 to 30 will be 20.5, a follow on from before to 30.5. We start with 30.5 and we add on a 0.5 to 40, 40.5 until we get to 60.5. Right, so let's now go and plot or draw our histogram. We have part C. On a partially labeled grid below, construct a histogram to represent the distribution of the volume of petrol needed to fill the tanks of the 150 vehicles. So we know that here is the y-axis. It's good to write that. And we know here is the x-axis. Okay, so we're going to label, and that x-axis, we're going to say that the volume petrol. Now the first bar was 10.5 to 20.5, so that's what we're plotting. This is really 10.5 to 20.5, and that was, as you can read here, it was 24. So here will be 25. This line here, so right under it will be 24. This is going to be 30.5. So 20.5 to 30.5, as you can see there, is 35. The line is straight across. 30.5 to 40.5 would be 42. This is 41, 1, 2. Then we're going to have 50.5. 50.5, and that was, we have 25 and we're counting 28, and then 50.5 to 60.5 was 21. So you notice we have 20 here, we're going up 1 for 21. So that's our histogram. This is Tatiana from Tatiana Math Resources. We looked at the 2019 paper 2 question 5. Thank you so much for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, or leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.